if it goes towards this and again come back, it will be more. Rather, it will follow directly this path from this point to this point through this bracing. Okay, then again from this point to this point through this bracing, then from this point to this one through this bracing. Okay, and finally from this point to this foundation through this bracing. This is the force flow path. Okay, and this is the least path. And if you apply a load from this direction, what will happen? I am marking this in green color. Okay, so let's say you are applying a load at this point. Of course, first from this point to this point through this member, then from this point to this point through this bracing, then from this one to this one through this bracing, this point to this point through this bracing, and finally from this point to the foundation. Okay, now I think it is clear to you how the lateral force travel through your bracing. Okay, so when there is a chance that from any direction your lateral load may come, it is better to provide the X bracing. Okay, and in any real cases, a X bracing looks like this one. Here you can see. Okay, this is pinned and this is also pinned support. This is the roof beam and X bracing has been provided like this. Okay, simply they have been provided like this. Now come to the second one or second part of this video, that is the mechanism of Chevron bracing or inverse V. Why inverse V? A V looks like this. Okay, and here in Chevron bracing it looks like this one. Okay, so when a Chevron bracing is required, so before discussing about Chevron bracing, try to visualize the force flow. Okay, so here again, let's say you are applying a load here. Okay, this is lateral load P, and remember the load will follow the least path. Okay, so the nearest point is this one. From this point to this one, it will go like this, and from here definitely it will go towards this point. Okay, so from here to this point. Okay, in this point, if you simply take the component of this force, it looks like this one.